truth or consequences. Let me ask you something. How much of your credibility is built on things you've left unsaid, softened, or strategically edited because the truth felt too risky? Now ask yourself, what kind of leader would you be if you stopped doing that? That is the conversation we are having today. Truth is one of the most negotiated currencies in leadership. People tell you it's context dependent, if the timing is right, if the relationship can handle it, if you frame it carefully enough that it doesn't destabilize anything. But the kind of truth that actually builds you up is not conditional. Truth is the refusal to trade your integrity for comfort. It is the moment you stop managing perceptions and start managing reality. And it is the doorway to the three things you have been quietly losing: your influence, your freedom, and your energy. If you are a marginalized leader, you know this in your bones. You learned early that honesty had to be calibrated. So you read every room. You softened the feedback. You let misunderstandings linger. You said what people can handle instead of what people needed to hear. These strategies kept you safe. But what you had to become to stay safe is the very thing now keeping you from being powerful. You don't need better talking points. You need a different relationship to your own voice. Why it matters? Operating without truth is a slow drain, and it drains the three things you can least afford to lose. Without truth, your influence erodes. You dilute your message, and your impact dilutes with you. Your freedom shrinks. You rent your credibility from every audience you face. Your energy depletes because managing lies takes more work than telling the truth. Take a deep breath and notice which one you have lost the most of. It looks like sugarcoating feedback that someone desperately needs, letting a misunderstanding persist because correcting it feels awkward. Overstating your confidence in a timeline you know is unrealistic. Watching a decision get made on information you know is incomplete. And saying nothing when you don't tell the truth first. You lease your credibility from whatever story you've constructed. And rented credibility always charges interest. Every leadership move you make from a contorted truth is built on a foundation that can collapse at any moment. You deserve a foundation no one else can shake. Visibility. This is where your influence comes back. Truth-telling changes how people experience your leadership. Not as careful, as clear. Leaders carrying this can say, I show up with what's real, not with what's filtered for palatability. I don't need to be liked in every moment to be trusted over time. The fullness of my honesty is the leadership. Here is the part most leaders miss. Your influence is not built by being more diplomatic. It is built by being more direct. People don't follow leaders who manage their message. They follow leaders who tell the truth. That is influence. That is the kind that compounds. Truth-telling is not recklessness. It is precision. It tells everyone in the room that reality is not negotiable. And the room recalibrates around what is real, not around what's comfortable. Liberation. This is where your freedom comes back. Real truth-telling is internal liberation. It means refusing to negotiate the accuracy of your own voice. It sounds like, I don't need to soften this to be credible here. I am not managing perceptions. I am managing reality. My honesty is not up for calibration. When you stop pre-editing truth to protect feelings, contribution replaces contortion. That is freedom. Not the abstract kind, the everyday kind. The freedom to give feedback without 3 layers of cushioning. The freedom to name the problem in the room without apologizing for noticing it. The freedom to say, I don't know, the first time you don't know. Not after 3 meetings of pretending. Liberation is the end of the inherited contract that said you had to manage everyone else's comfort with your truth. That contract is over. Transformation. This is where energy comes back. Yours and the people you lead. When one leader stops softening the truth to manage reactions, something radical happens. The room is forced to deal with reality instead of spinning in managed narratives. Other leaders realize, I don't have to cushion every hard thing I say either. Truth is not cruelty. We can build cultures that value clarity instead of folding ourselves to protect comfort. And then something happens. Most leaders forgot what's possible begins to return. Energy. Energy for the work. Energy for the conversation. Energy you get back from not spending it on perception management. That is how truth-telling becomes cultural redesign. Leadership stops being about crafting narratives and start being about creating conditions where reality is welcome and powerfully so. The leadership reality. Most leaders are not lacking truth because they are not courageous enough. They are lacking truth because they are trained to earn safety through edit. You were taught to be honest but not harsh, direct but not blunt, clear but not cold. That is the reality. And it is also why many capable leaders are exhausted from the daily labor of calibrating every hard truth, and why their influence has plateaued. Their freedom has shrunk, and their energy has gone quiet. If that is you, pause. You are not broken. You learn to soften because that is what survival asks of you. and you are allowed to stop. Truth-telling is not the absence of care. It is the absence of requirement to prioritize comfort over clarity. Closing reflection. Before you walk into the next difficult conversation, sit with these 3 questions. What truth am I about to soften? And what is it costing my influence? What would change in my leadership today if I refuse to manage perceptions around this reality? What freedom would return? Whose comfort am I still protecting at the cost of clarity that has already been needed? And what energy am I leaving behind in protecting? The answers are not cruelty, they are courage. Final truth. You cannot lead from a truth you keep softening. You cannot build trust while managing the narrative. And you cannot create cultures of honesty while calibrating your own. Your influence is on the other side of telling the truth. Your freedom is on the other side of refusing to soften it. Your energy is on the other side of putting down the work of perception management. Tell the truth with the same loyalty you have shown every comfort you were protecting. Then lead from there. That is the work.